The McLaren Sabre, what is it? Well, it's probably the most craziest supercar you will ever see, or maybe never get to see, because only 16 of these crazy cars were ever produced, and this is car number 16 of 16. The car was based off the platform of a McLaren Senna, which is McLaren's most track-focused model to date. However, 70% of the parts on the Sabre are totally unique to the model. And with new cylinder heads and revised mapping, the car produces an extra 35 brake horsepower over a Senna and means that this is the fastest McLaren two-seater to date, with a top speed of 218 miles per hour. Let's take a closer look at the car. Now, for me, a Sabre is one of the best looking, most dramatic, one of the most timeless designs I have seen on a supercar. I think it's a car that will age incredibly well, and it very much feels like a show car. We spoke about 70% of the parts on this car are totally unique to the model, but these parts were not just stick-on extras. There's so much R&D, research and development that went into the model, and the aero on this car, the aero flow doesn't just go from the underside and above the car, but it actually goes through the car. When you look at these wings on both the front and the rear, the way the car has been designed is totally unique, where the air goes through the car as well as under and above it. Now, the demand for this car all started from the US market, and McLaren had a lot of North American-based owners, McLaren owners, who wanted an answer to the Ferrari one-off program. And McLaren subsequently designed a car that was purely to be homologated for the North American market. And for that reason, they managed to get away with a lot of items on this car, such as the very small and very attractive wing mirrors that would have not passed a worldwide homologation. Some other really cool design cues on this car. We're going to get to the inside a little bit later, but the fuel filler. To access the fuel filler, hydraulically operated, but when you look at the arm on the fuel filler is even the same color as the body, and we have the opposite side for the water and for the oil. But the most dramatic part of the car for me is the rear. When you look at the rear of this car, which has this central spine, this LMP1 style central spine that's running through it, and then you have the honeycomb vents into the rear to help with the cooling of the engine, and then you get to the rear diffuser, which is the largest rear diffuser I think I've ever seen on any car ever. This Le Mans style rear wing that has brake lights into the edges on both sides of the rear wing. The center wheel nuts on this car are actually painted the same color as the body, and then we should touch on the body color. Obviously, like the rest of the cars, the rest of the siblings within the Mansour Ojjeh collection, this car color is Mansour Orange, or as McLaren know it, Morange. And it has gloss carbon fiber contrasting body panels. You'll see the US federalization side reflectors in both the front and the rear. And you also have the painted Mansour Orange pinstripe that runs alongside the visible carbon fiber gloss body panels. We're now in the cockpit, and the first thing that's really obvious to me is the level of detail, the quality of finish in the car. You see so many anodized parts, you see the brushed steel, all of the Mansour Orange accents throughout the interior. The seats are super comfortable, these large racing seats that really hug you, and they've got Mansour orange perforations running throughout the seats. You just see the quality of the finish, even around the iris system. It really is beautiful. We have a plaque on the inside that states the last McLaren Sabre, chassis 16, built in March 2021, exclusive commission for Mansour Ojjeh. We spoke earlier about a Sabre being based off of a McLaren Senna. However, a Senna is very much a track-focused car, and McLaren adjusted it for the driving experience for any owners of the Sabre. They built it so this car can be more of a GT car, a car that can be driven 3 to 4 hours on the road. That is where most owners are going to really enjoy this car. We have to listen to the sound. The sound is absolutely phenomenal. Well, that's a very brief look at the Sabre. This car deserves so much more time going over all of the unique features about it. However, for me, this is a real showstopper. You know, how many modern supercars today, when a Ferrari pulls behind you, or a Lamborghini, or even a McLaren, there is so many similarities that each platform, each model shares, and you're not sure what model is what when it comes behind you. However, with a Sabre, there is no confusing the car. Think that Ferrari one-off program, think that car that they built for Eric Clapton. You know, a Sabre is McLaren's answer to Ferrari's one-off program, but this car is a car that's based off a real supercar platform. Yes, it cost a hell of a lot more money than a Senna new, but I have no doubt that this is a car that we are going to see at Villa d'Este or the Pebble Beach Concours in a quarter of a century time, absolutely picking up best of show, because it deserves it. It is a best of show car.